Hey y'all, well, welcome to Unapologetic Faith. I'm your host, Sonia Taylor. I'm a wife, mom, registered nurse, and transformational life coach. After getting serious about my walk with Christ, I had this overwhelming feeling to share the Word of God, but not only to share it, but to explain it in my own unique way where people could actually relate to it, because that was once my struggle. What I did not expect was to get a little opposition when I started sharing my faith. But for me, that just kind of added fuel to my fire. As a result, I have gotten more bolder and more confident and fearless about sharing my faith. If you have a desire to grow your relationship with God, understand His Word, and be bold and confident and fearless in your walk with Christ, Unapologetic Faith has you covered. Let's get started. Hey y'all, this is Sonia, and you're listening to the Unapologetic Faith podcast. This episode, I really think is going to encourage someone to really believe in themselves. And I just want to say, this is not just for you all, but this is for me as well. I've been underestimated my whole entire life. And at this point, I really don't care who underestimates me. I'm okay with it. I want people to underestimate me. And I was just thinking about this as I was reading the story of Goliath, David and Goliath. And nobody really believed that David could fight Goliath and win. And this is not me just saying that. This is what was said to him in 1 Samuel 17:33. Saul even tells David that he's ridiculous. He was like, you can't fight. You can't fight, this giant. You're just a boy. And he's a man of experience. And so when we see this, from all the looks of everything, it looks like David ain't got a chance in the world. But David didn't think that. But Saul did. And it also made me think that a lot of times people are not going to believe in you until you make it, until you achieve something, until they see you winning. Because in verse 33, Saul told David he's just a boy. But by the end of that, he was calling him a young man. So I know that whoever may be listening to this, you may be discouraged. You may feel like you're not winning. But the other thing that I noticed in this entire story is that the Bible is very descriptive about Goliath and all his armor and everything that he had. Meanwhile, little old David only had 5 smooth rocks, a slingshot, and a staff. That's all he had. That's all it looked like he had. But he had something that that Goliath didn't have. He had God. And not only that did he just have God, he had his faith, his trust, everything was in God. And that should be a lesson to us. It may not look like you have everything. It may not look like you have the money. You don't have the influence, the power, the status, or none of those things. And you really don't even need all of that. Because guess what? David didn't have all of that. You don't need all of that. I don't need a bunch of followers. I don't need power. I don't need status. I don't need any of those things because I have God. And if I have God on my side, I'm going to win. And that's a known fact throughout the Bible. All of these people who had other gods, it didn't work out for them. But the people who had the one God, the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac, the God who sent Jesus here on this earth, those are the people who won. And I'm just going to, we're talking about David and Goliath. Goliath had all that armor, and guess what? He still died. He still got killed. He still was defeated. The Egyptians had many gods. And we know what happened to them. They drowned. They had wealth. They had gold. They had everything, power, but they did not have God. They did not have the one true living God. And that's a lesson to us. It doesn't matter what anybody else has. As long as you have God, you have everything that you need. And you don't need all the unnecessary things. You don't need all the unnecessary stuff. And I hope and pray that somebody really gets this. So whatever it is, whatever giant it is that you're facing, just know that you have a God that will rescue you. Because that's what David said. He was so confident and he trusted God so much. He said, I know he will rescue me just like he rescued me from the lions and the bears. So he wasn't where it was giant or no, he didn't care that it was a giant. He didn't care that he was bigger than him. He didn't care that he had experience. He didn't care that he had all that armor. And as a matter of fact, Saul offered up his armor to David. And David was like, I can't use this. He felt like it would slow him down because it said that when Goliath came toward him, David quickly ran toward him. Now, if he had on all that other armor or somebody else's armor, y'all, the fight is fixed. The fight is fixed. We win every time with God. The fight is fixed. It is fixed. And I'm just sitting here thinking about all these people in the Bible, even with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel, Joseph, David, Gideon. The fight is fixed. We just have to have the courage, the boldness, the faith, and the trust in God. Because that's all David had. He didn't have all the stuff that Goliath had, and he still won. David had strategy. I think that Goliath he wasn't confident, he was cocky. He was arrogant. And there's a difference between having confidence and being arrogant. David knew he would win with God, the real living God. Meanwhile, Goliath worshipped many gods. And here's the thing, they had all those gods and he still lost. He still was defeated. The Egyptians had all these gods, the sun god, moon god, or whatever type of gods they had, and they still drowned. They still drowned. And a lot of us, we have gods too. We make money our God. We make our job our God. Remember, anything that you put before God is an idol. And God tells us not to make an idol of anything. People put money before God. They put their jobs, their careers, all of those things. Anything or anyone that becomes before God is an idol. Put your friends before God. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that Saul didn't believe in David before he won, before he defeated Goliath. Before he defeated him, he was a boy, but after he defeated him, he was a man. Interesting. You didn't believe he was a man before. And sadly, this is just how the world works. But that's it for this episode, y'all. I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a blessed week.